What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Today we're going to be talking about Sombra! Yes, so here we are at 12:30, and there's a rumor that Sombra is going to be leaked today. So I'm kind of recording this for posterity's sake to see, to make some predictions and see what's going on here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what is Sombra? Sombra is obviously a support character. You could tell this by the character selection screen up on the top left here, where you see that it's highlighted on Sombra on the far right side, which generally means support. So we're talking about healing. All right, now is it going to be all healing? We don't know yet, okay? Now, we also know that Sombra is a sniper. There's been a lot of intel from the spec of the weapon where it has Torbjorn and Mercy sharing commentary on this, where Mercy is a little bit concerned about the fact that they put a fucking healing component to a sniper rifle and thinks that it's a very slippery slope. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it's a little strange. So how's this going to work? Well, there's this thing called the biotic field or biotic healing, which is pretty much how Soldier 76 works, how a lot of them work with the exception of Lucio and Zenyatta. So the basic idea here is you're shooting a biotic boost right at somebody. So what we could see here is large boost healing rather than sustained stream healing that we've seen off of pretty much everybody else. You look at Zenyatta, it's a sustained heal as long as there's line of sight. You look at Mercy, mostly an LOS sustained heal, though you can kind of get around corners to a little bit, but the angling on that needs some adjustment. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But for the most part, you could easily stay out of harm's way and still heal. You look at Lucio, which is a AoE sustained healing, but we've never had like just burst healing, like ping boom, super heals all over the place. This is a concept we've seen in a lot of games, specifically MMOs, where people could just burst heals. You look at World of Warcraft, you had priests who could just go bang, 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 where you had like paladins who were kind of like pew, 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 pew. Though, in all honesty, they started actually doing more pew, 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 pew. Just saying. And then, of course, you had druids who were like, pew. Sorry. That's about the best analogy I could give you for healing in World of Warcraft. And I'm not even going to fucking talk about shamans because they don't count. Alright, so a healing sniper rifle offers some really good possibilities, but that's just going to be the primary attack. But what about the alt attack, Well, it's a sniper rifle, so pretty much your right click is most likely going to be to bring up the scope. Alright, so we're probably going to look at similar functionality to Widowmaker. And I know some of you are going to go, well, that's not very unique at all. Okay, sure, right. But what about offensive potential? How are you going to differentiate the offensive potential? Here's where things get a little bit wonky. You'd actually have to use the shift key, okay? So if you're not paying attention, you might accidentally heal your own opponents. I think that's where things are going to get really fucking fun, and it's actually going to make Sombra one of the most skill-intensive classes out there. So when you're going to heal, you have to hit shift to do the heal, hit shift off, and you're just shooting a regular shot. Now, damage output wise, I'm probably going to say that Sombra's hit is going to be doing somewhere around 80 to 100 versus Reapers, versus Widowmakers, which is a lot higher. And the reason why I'm going to say you're going to have to downscale it so much is if you've got a healer that can snipe as hard as a Widowmaker, why would you ever take Widowmaker? Now, mind you, Widowmaker is pretty much in rapid decline in play because she's no longer a dominant force as she used to be, because now she actually has to get the headshots. Don't get me wrong, that burst 150 is really good, but actually it's burst 120 now, isn't it? Something of that nature. But it's not enough. It really is just not enough anymore. So yeah, I'm definitely going to say that it's going to have to be somewhere between 80 to 100 damage per shot, and probably only a 2x multiplier on a headshot here. Now, healing-wise, this is where it's going to get really interesting as well. It's probably going to be somewhere around 100 to 150 per shot on a hit. All right. Now, we've covered the shift, we've covered the primary and alternate, And that still leaves two things here, the E and the Q. All right. So the E, what's the E going to be? Most likely some sort of movement ability. Now, we're talking about Sombra, who is kind of based on the whole concept of the Lady of Death in Mexican culture. If you know anything about, Dios de la Muerto or Day of the Dead or whatever, and I know I probably butchered the hell out of my Spanish there, God forbid, then you know that there's a lot of folklore based around the Lady of Death, and that's kind of where they're fashioning this character on. So I'm starting to think of different types of transportation that you could easily use, very similar to, say, Reaper, very similar to a lot of others that are out there. And what I think we might see is basically like a Banshee flight form to the target. I think that might actually be really cool. It's kind of like the cross between the Widowmaker grappling hook and I would say the Wraith form of Reaper. But what you would have to do is actually make her vulnerable in that Wraith form. So when she's doing that travel to the target, she can still be shot out of the air. I think that's really about the only way you can do something of that nature. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, but not quite. Either that, or instead of being completely vulnerable, she gets a damage reduction while in that travel form. I think there you go. I think that would be about the best solution there. And then, of course, comes the ultimate. Now, this is always the clutch problem. All right, so you look at the ultimates that you have in the game. All right, especially for support. So let's do this right now. Okay, so first one you have is, we'll go with Lucio. You basically buff everybody to a certain amount, and it degrades over a certain amount of time. So basically for 5 seconds, they're super uber powerful in defense, but it gets less and less as time goes. And yeah, that kind of sucks. To be perfectly honest, this is one of the least effective ultimates in the game. I know I play a lot of Lucio, and I can honestly say it's probably one of the least effectives. Alright, so then you got Mercy, rezzing people back up, which, can be a little bit of a tricky situation, but man, does that swing game so much. So much. Alright, next you've got Zenyatta. You make a giant go fuck yourself field that anybody in it's getting healed back up to full. Awesome, have a nice day, and you're also going to be protected as you're moving forward. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Alright. And then let's see, we've got Symmetra. Okay, so Symmetra drops a teleporter, which basically allows people to get back into the battle quickly. That's actually pretty fucking effective. I'm not even gonna lie, pretty damn effective. And a lot of people say that Symmetra is not really a combat support character, but more of just kind of a debuffer buffer kind of deal thing. I disagree with you. You look at the actual role of a combat medic, it's basically to get you back into fight quicker. You just have to die in order for Symmetras to be overly good. Alright, so looking at those lines here, Sombra, what are we looking at? Well, there are a couple options here. Basically, a temporary invulnerability for the entire team kind of makes me think that it's a little too much like Lucio, so to speak. A massive large heal, basically map-wide, brings everybody back up to full. I kind of feel might be a little bit too powerful. An LOS, bring everybody up back to full, I think would be kind of cool too. But depending on the rate of fire of that gun, just kind of makes that feel meh. A second Resurrector, I don't think is very good, because then it starts asking the questions like, well, why would you ever take Mercy if you could just take Sombra and basically also get the added long-range firepower? So again, I don't think that's going to be it. Maybe a group-wide like Wraith form where you're temporarily invulnerable and can attack people. That one I actually think would be really, really cool. That one I think would be fucking insane, right? What you'd end up seeing is, going for that push, all of a sudden Sombra pops the ult. That way everybody can get in there and they're fighting, and if they've got a Sombra, they pop their ult, so you basically just cluster around, not hurting anybody. It's the giant cluster. Fuck. It'd be hilariously funny to watch, but yeah. So I don't know. And we could also just see it not actually being a supportive ultimate. It could actually just be a power ultimate, Maybe increases the rate of fire by like 200%. So now it's like pow, 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 pow. We already talked about having a reduced damage output, right? Well, with a reduced damage output, your rate of fire is definitely going to have to be pretty consistent in order to make up for that reduced damage output. So now if you've got an ultimate that's going to increase your rate of fire, I think that would be pretty damn good. And if it could also increase the rate of fire of anybody in line of sight on your team, I think that would be fucking amazing. Imagine Torbjorn getting a second round of his molten core for shooting purposes just without all the life gain. I think that would be pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Now, the healing aspect, you're probably going to have to shoot your own targets. And we've already seen kind of what the reticle for Sombra looks like. So it's pretty much anything within the triangle is going to get a hit. Which is kind of what really makes me think that you can't really have the damage output on Sombra being overly good. So that's why I'm thinking, 70 to 80 area with the rate of fire probably somewhere similar to, say, Torbjorn maybe. Maybe. All right. Or maybe a little bit less. Don't know. But, yeah, I would definitely think something around there would be good. But I don't know. That ultimate's going to be the real clincher there. It's really hard to pick there because there's so many different really cool concepts that could work. One thing that I thought would have been really cool was basically a giant debuff that would go map-wide to the enemy. Or anybody within, line of sight within a certain vicinity would basically automatically take a debuff to where they're moving slow. I thought that was actually a really good thing, Death creeps up on you and the impending doom. I like that. I think that would be a really cool thing. But then I kind of feel like, we're combining too many different concepts in the support class to make this one uber ultimate one. So I don't know if that's going to be overly good. But hey, you know what? We're going to find out here in about 18 minutes. So after that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add more to this. And we're going to see what we get. All right? So this ought to be fun. All right. Later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. They have released the information for Anna, i.e. Sombra. So, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to basically look at this here. And let me boom to bam. Alright, so here we go. We're going to hit play on this. Which, hold on. There we go. We're going to hit play and we're going to see what's up. Alright? Now, I already know because I read it, but let's go.
I'm securing the objective. Anyone want to join me?
I require healing.
I have you covered.
We gotta push him back.
Eliminate this target.
Bombs away.
Anna, reporting for duty. I'm on the attack. Follow me in.
Barrier is failing!
Hitting you with a nano boost. Get in there and do some damage. I have you in my sights.
It's high noon.
Lights out.
Okay. Alright. Hold up. Okay. What the fuck? That's like everything I talked about in the previous one put together. Holy crap. Okay, so the first post-launch character coming to Overwatch is Ana, support hero who uses her sniper rifle to heal her allies. Blizzard Entertainment revealed today Blizzard as a battle-scarred veteran who supports her teammates from a distance using a uniquely highly specialized collection of weapons. Ana's primary weapon is her biotic rifle. This gun fires long-range darts that heal her allies and deal damage to her foes, which, as we saw, it did a significant amount of damage to fucking Widowmaker. Just gonna say that right now. Biotic grenades, like her rifle, heals teammates and damages enemies caught in its area of effect for a brief period. The grenades also boost all incoming healing for allies and prevent enemies from being healed. Bad news for opposing Roadhogs and Soldier 76 players. Yeah. She also is armed with a sleep dart, which can knock enemies unconscious for a brief period of time. I.e., fuck you, High Noon. Fuck you, Justice Reigns from above. Can you imagine sleep darting Pharah at any time while she's in the air? If you hit that, BAM! So when she Justice Reigns falls to the fucking ground, instant mincemeat. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. And his own ultimate, Nano Boost, sees her firing a dart at an enemy and granting them faster movement, increasing damage and improved resistance to incoming attacks. I.e., hi, I'm a tank, please hit me with this shit. Oh my god, and as we saw, Reinhardt just went total fucking ham once he had that shit. Imagine Reinhardt swinging at least 50% faster than he normally does. He's a fucking lawnmower. In addition to showing how Overwatch new character plays, Blizzard also delves into her backstory and new origin video, right, which we're not going to bother watching that, but it's going to be really cool. Players who've been following Overwatch lore likely already know that Ana is the mother of another playable character, Pharah. Ana also has close ties with Overwatch veterans, including Reaper, Soldier 76, which Blizzard teased last week. Yep, Ana clearly has some history with Overwatch character rival Sniper Widowmaker, who appears to be responsible for the loss of her right eye. Yep. We'll have to wait for the release of Ana and the colorful dialogue that catch characters exchanging that Blizzard will release Ana and other additional characters for Overwatch free, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so a couple things here. Let me turn this off real quick. Alright, so the mask seems to have been removed, but everything else is the same. I'm betting that this is going to be a skin for Ana. Like, I can't wait to see the skin lineup for Ana. So we might actually see the Masked Sniper skin. We'll probably see some Lady of Death skins, similar to the El Blanco and Mariachi skins for Reaper and things of that nature. So it's going to be really cool. But let's review. Healing Sniper Rifle. Cool. That also does damage to enemies. Very cool. This right now makes her a little bit stronger than fucking Widowmaker for actual competitive play. But will she be overly good in competitive play? Okay, well, those of you who were somewhat decent with Widowmaker now actually have a role as a support healer, so you can do some really cool stuff. And the fact is, a lot of people find it very difficult to deal with Widowmaker. Alright, unless they're going Widowmaker. So, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I honestly could see this definitely hitting somewhere. Now, McCree used to be really, really relevant, but he's actually fallen off quite a bit. But in competitive play, he's still used quite a bit. So, being able to basically knock out High Noon, it's nope. That's great. Being able to knock out a lot of those ultimates as they're powering up, like you look at, McCree's, you look at Pharah's, those are going to be really impactful. You can just stop those from happening right then. Alright? Now imagine the whole wombo combo with Pharah and Zarya, right? So you get put in there, and here comes Pharah. It just is from, bam, sleeps her, saves the entire team. You can also throw the grenade down right there, heal everybody in, bam, sleep, you're good. You're good. You just saved your whole fucking team. Alright? That is actually pretty fucking good. This is literally combo killer. This is the combo killer here, ladies and gentlemen. Not to mention, Reaper starts doing his, Death Blossom. Sleep. That's going to be amazing, guys. I'm just going to say it right now. That's going to be amazing. The heal that Ana was putting out was basically burst. It was very, very bursty. The fact that her grenade can stop heals on, say, Roadhog, pretty damn good. So I like that. I like that. Mercy is still going to be able to get around that, though, considering how she works. You know, all they have to do is get out of the field. But, yeah. So, I mean, in a way, it does kind of stop Mercy, too. As long as the grenade goes down on the target that Mercy's trying to heal, then the heals absolutely have no effect on it. So that's something right there. So, yeah. That's really interesting. I like the sleep dart. I like the nano boost. This was all pretty much what I was kind of looking towards. Like, you know, obviously healing is a great support role to begin with, but you needed something else there. You needed a buffer, something that buffed people up. And not only did we get a buff, we also got a debuff that ends up probably breaking a lot of characters over their knee. If you get a really good Sombra on your team, I'm going to tell you right now, oh man, you thought High Noon was annoying, you thought Pharah was annoying, GG. G fucking G, guys, alright? I have a feeling Sombra is going to change the landscape of this meta quite nicely, and it's really going to force a lot of people to change their picks around, okay? If you see your enemy team has a Sombra, you're most likely going to want to take something that's going to kill her. So Reaper, anything that can get to her quickly, Reapers, Genjis, things of that nature. But still, you're not always guaranteed to win that fight because she can just sleep your ass. Just sleep you. Boom. Nope. Bam. Done. Alright, it's going to be really difficult to catch this this chick off guard. So, I mean, you're going to have to plan really hard for it. But I'm really happy to see this. The speed boost, something that I suggested in there that I thought would be really good. Playing as Lucio, I know exactly how devastating that can be. Especially when you're going on a push. So imagine here you're playing, you know, a pretty standard competitive build. You've got yourself a Reinhardt. You've got yourself a Lucio. You've got yourself a insert the rest, and you also have Sombra here. So what happens is, let's use Temple of Anubis. You take point A, right? So now you're all running up. You know, Lucio's boosting the entire team up to that point, up to the main point there, and then Sombra speed boosts on the Reinhardt. He goes in there, starts swinging, knocking everything out. Everybody else is getting into position, starting taking the point, healing it down, crunch, lockdown, record time, have a nice fucking day. It's very fucking possible, guys. Very possible. Like, seriously, Sombra plus Reinhardt equals some pretty disgusting things that can happen here, alright? We might even see people being really, really crafty here and running double Sombra, double Reinhardt just for the total lulls of lawn mowing entire groups, okay? Now, obviously, the counter here is, you know, if you're seeing that, then your own Sombra plus Reinhardt can actually counter this because, like, oh, you sped up your Reinhardt, that's fine. I'm going to sleep him, speed up mine, and then he mows down yours. So, again, timing is everything in here. But in all honesty, if you're taking Sombra on Temple Anubis as defense, you're pretty much already in a really bad position on point B because you have, like, no real place to set up there except for up top, and that's a really easy spot to snipe out. But I'm really happy to see this. I can't wait to get my hands on Sombra. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Leave me some commentary down below. Hit me with likes, subscribes, all that other fun shit. Till next time, stay safe. And the world needs more heroes. Wow, I sound like the Micro Machine Man. Peace.